what about respect? Because you will constantly hear this from even the youngest generations. You will hear this from from little girls. You'll hear this from 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old girls, and little girls they already understand the utility of the disparity between what respect should mean to female human beings and what respect should mean to male human beings. I'm gonna break this down also in the same way that I broke down the differences in the concepts of love. And yes, in case you have questions, and I'm sure you will, there are other concepts that are gendered. So, and I'm not going to, today is about respect, and I'll talk about a few of those later on maybe, but there are other concepts that we kind of take for granted that are also gendered. Women have a different understanding of what those concepts are than men do. Respect in this case is this. And I'm going to read this here in a second because I hate to get really literalist here, but you kind of have to understand what the definition of respect is. Whenever I am listening to, and I don't care what podcast it's on, whenever I'm listening to women talk about, actually, let me just drop this in there real quick. I was doing my homework for this show, and I was thinking, okay, well, I'm just going to go in and drop, men respect women, right? I can't, it wasn't actually Fresh and Fit. It was PewDiePie that I looked at. And I will say it was very entertaining. He's a funny guy, but especially this one, there's 10 million views on this about respecting women. And if you know who PewDiePie is, and I can't imagine you don't, that episode and it's only 14 minutes long. It was absolutely hilarious. But a lot of it, the reason it's hilarious is because a lot of the inconsistencies in it are very true. And I'm going to talk about those inconsistencies here. But, he was doing a breakdown, or I hate that, a reaction. Let's just say a reaction video to a woman who's trying to tell us all how to respect women. And the thing is I looked at this and I'm laughing at him. I'm going, why do I find this funny? I hate to be super analytical about it, but I'm like, why do I find this funny? Well, the reason is because it's so common. All the points that this young lady, who probably was 16 or 17 years old, I think, was making are what we would call memes. I'm really kind of digging deep into the evolutionary aspect of memetics right now. So bear with me if I'm sort of getting ahead of myself on some of this stuff. But why is it that this is a brand new generation, right? Gen Z, repeating the same memes that the generation before that and the generation before that and the generation before that have been repeating for a very long time. I've made this point on a few different shows, which is, where are these ideas coming from? Why do we take them for granted, and why do they seem like they're self-perpetuating all the time? So when I hear stuff like that, when I hear, oh, you should respect women, and here's how you do it, don't slide into her DMs and be respectful on a date and do this, and you will even hear on certain podcasts, let's just say Fresh and Fit, for example, when they're talking about sex, asking these girls what are they looking for in a guy, a lot of them will say, well, if he respects me, then I'm more likely to X, Y, or Z. And that doesn't have to be sex. It can be whatever, right? If he respects me, then I'm into it, right? If he respects me, then he could be vulnerable as he wants to be. And I'm like, where the hell are they getting this idea? Where, for instance, I remember when you guys probably saw this. I did the breakdown video of the redhead girl on there, and she was talking about how Myron and Fresh were all misogynists, right? And okay, so separate Fresh and Fit from this for a second. Why is it that women throw out the word misogynist so readily? And why is it that women throw out the concept or the idea of respect or lack of respect so quickly? Why is it that we're still hearing the same language and the same kind of old order understanding of these concepts? Misogyny, for example. There's other ones too, obviously, but these are easy illustrations. Why? Why is that? And so you have to remember where's all this coming from, and what's the function? What's the latent purpose of perpetuating those memes? Well, of course, it's ensuring a power base. That's number one. Let me say, Sam Whiskey says, why do women that demand respect still disrespect men's time? Oh, we're gonna hit all of that today, Sam. Don't worry. We will come back to that. I'll explain to you that. Actually, let's dig into that just really quickly here. Because men and women have differing understandings of respect, women do not value men's respect. That's just it. for all women wanting to say, you don't respect women, or you don't, I deserve respect, or there's this default understanding of what respect should mean to women. Women only use that when the utility of that serves their interests. So yes, women have no problem wasting your time. They have no problem disrespecting you because they, first of all, they know you will tolerate it because it's in men's interests to tolerate disrespect from women. You want to know why holding women accountable right now is such a hot template and a hot formula in the quote unquote manosphere, or whatever the hell we're calling it right now? That's why. Because women have for so long wasted men's time and disrespected men that when a man says no, when a man, and I'm that's as polite as I can make this. When a man just says no, and a man holds that woman accountable, the first thing she does is say, you're a misogynist. You don't respect women. You told me no. You should respect me. You must be a woman hater. You're one of those red pill guys. Who hurt you? Let's run down the list, because now that woman is being held accountable. And of course, the number one thing that women will say is you're being judgmental. And that's that. I want to make that point here early on, because that's going to be very important to this conversation. Women do not want to be judged. That's why. So when a woman has that sort of fail-safe, she's got that utility of respect, that's nebulous, ambiguous, poorly understood concept of respect when it comes to women, it completely out the door when it comes to respecting men. It's not just gendered, though, because respect also has to, we have to look at the respect in its totality here, because there is, biblically speaking, right, we're supposed to respect our elders. Do you guys respect me because I'm in my 50s? Probably not. You probably think I'm a son of a bitch. Okay, fine. But do you respect your mom and your dad? Do you respect your dad? Do you respect your grandparents? And do you respect them just because they're old, or do you respect them because they have sort of a lived experience and they have some wisdom that they can impart to you and the younger generations? No, I don't think so at all. I think here's the funny thing. I heard this is actually I'm pulling this quote from a Longmire episode, and it's like what was he? Who was I forget the old guy's name. He says, once you get past the 18 to 49 demographic, you are effectively invisible as a guy. Right, well, as a person, like nobody cares about old people. Once you get past the 18 to 49 demographic, you are effectively invisible. That's not complaining. There's actually a lot of freedom, and if you know that and you can leverage that, that invisibility really helps you a lot. But it's true. Nobody cares about old people. And there used to be a default respect that we had because we respect your elders, right? You're supposed to respect your elders. Well, today, nobody gives a rat's ass about old people. They don't care about elders, unless that person, again, has something that they did. And it's particularly for guys, they had to do something that merited respect in the first place. Just because you're an old fart doesn't mean that you should be respectable. Sorry, Aaron. So that's that. But remember, okay, so that's another side kind of understanding of what respect is, because it's not just about like men and women. Okay, does the average person walking down the street deserve your respect? Right. Most women will say, yes, of course, everybody deserves respect. It's like that participation trophy that we grew up on. Everybody deserves to feel special, right? Do they? Do they really? Because we're going to get into the definition here, and I'm going to read this here in just a second. What'd you say, Albert? Is respect me code for let me do whatever I want? No, but it is in a way, but it's also let me get away with what I've gotten away with in the past. It's more like this, okay? Where did you go, Albert? There it is. Let me put you back up there again. It's more like this, Albert. Thank you for your $2, my friend. Here's your very long, involved answer for $2. It's not so much let me do whatever I want. It's don't judge me. Because if you're judging me, that means you're disrespecting me. Women will automatically default back to respect. And that's a common shaming tactic, I should say, as well. And this is something that I really think that, black pill guys, MGTOW guys get right? It's shaming language, shaming. Yeah. Well, that shaming language is rooted in this gendered understanding, gendered concepts of what respect is. And so it becomes this, well, I don't want other people to think I'm an asshole. I don't want other people to think that I'm not respecting women, because if you're a guy and you don't respect women, then suddenly you're ineligible for reproduction. Yeah, that is like the anti-pre-selection. If you don't respect women, right? And the guy can say, you know what? Show me a woman who is respectable, and I'll be the first man in line to respect her, right? Because that's the conflict. How many times have you heard women say that? How you don't respect women, and guys like, well, I respect women who've earned my respect, right? That's the conflict between the two. For men, respect is earned. Respect is about merit. Respect is about a hierarchy. It's about the dominance hierarchy that is endemic. It's innate to men's nature. We compete with one another. We are naturally, innately competitive. And I don't care if you're this introverted little wallflower or little mouse. If you go and you get on Call of Duty, suddenly you become that animal. You become that freaking, in your little safe space, like, I've never been really competitive. Yeah, until you get into something that you really like, or something you feel like you're really talented in, or maybe you're really super smart. We were talking about that before last week with Aaron Clary. When you are super smart, right? It's not an advantage to you in the sexual marketplace, but guys who think it is believe that they deserve respect for being smart, right? They deserve somebody, these women, if they just knew better, they would know that I'm the one for them, right? Why? Because he believes he has merited that default respect. I've done this, I've done that. I'm a doctor, God damn it. I've got the DR in front of my name. You will respect me. And I do that. I try, I refer to Dr. Jordan Peterson or Dr. Warren Farrell. You earn the DR. What is it? Dr. Evil. I didn't go to 10 years of med school to be called Mr. Evil. I am Dr. Goddamn Evil. So there's your quote for the day, by the way. Rollo says he's Dr. Goddamn Evil.